of an aggressive base running team?
I think the worst base runner is the base runner who is scared to get out or has fear of getting out. That means they don't know how their jump is going to be. They're hesitant. They're waiting for the perfect moment all the time. I understand it's really hard to get to first base, and I don't want to make outs on bases. That's the last. I'm not going to run just to run. But I do want guys to feel like they have the green light unless I put the hold on. It's not a steal sign from the dugout, like you got to go this pitch all the time. There will be on occasions, but we have some athletes on this team, and I think they're just now understanding how to, the technique and what to look for, tips and tells. We have a really good Griffin Benedict, who's in our bullpen, is really good at dissecting not only our guys, so we keep our stuff tight, but identifying some stuff from the other team. And I think Travis Jankowski, his calling card was, defense and running the bases really, really well. And I think they're going to learn a lot from Travis on when to steal, how to steal, the technique, all of that. So guys like Evan Carter and Wyatt Langford, Josh Smith, but also there's other guys on the team that the second tier type of guys with speed can also, get some bags if they're, teed up. And I think Griffin and Travis will do that.
So that's a yes.
I think so, yeah.
You guys, this team though, last year when it ran, stolen base totals were top tier in baseball. Efficiency or success rate was high. Your bases taken number was well above average, I think. How do you define, or how does more aggressiveness play out to you?
Well, I think it's not just the stolen bases, but it's the first and thirds, it's the second to homes, all of that stuff. Being a really good teammate is how hard you run the bases. And I think, that's been the identity of the Texas Rangers for the last couple of years. Evan Carter, I think he hasn't been on the field a ton. I think there's a chance that he runs, a lot because he's really good on the bases. He's smart. His brain works, so he can outrun the baseball, but he can also identify some stuff. So yeah, Corey Rags is really good at has been here the last couple of years. Obviously, the first base coach, but him and Travis working together, it's going to be, I think, move the needle even more this year, as opposed to maybe the years before. But the totals and everything, they're fantastic. More stolen bases, the more runs scored, and I think it helps the offense as well.
First game in a couple of days, what are your thoughts on ABS going into the season?
It's going to be any new rule implemented is going to be interesting to see how it plays out in spring training. That's why I liked seeing it in spring training. I like it for the umpires. I like it for the coaches. I like it for the players. You kind of see, who can understand it, who knows the strike zone, both the catcher, the pitcher, and then obviously the hitter. And then we can navigate, who we can. Who's allowed, I guess, to use it, so to speak. But, I think spring training is going to be so much different than the regular season because there's the high leverage situations that come up during the game. A lot of guys will be out of the game already in the fourth or fifth inning early on. So you want them to use it to feel it out. But typically you want it, most likely in higher leverage situations. And, we have our R&D department going through different stuff that the AAA has used and what has worked, what has not worked. So it's a learning curve for all of us, umpires included. And so I'm excited to see it. I think there's a lot of players have been anticipating this for a long time, including myself when I was a player, catching wind of it. I was in those meetings years ago about it. So it's kind of exciting to see it come.
Do you think catchers will be the ones who call for it the most?
I don't know what other teams are doing. I will tell you that our Texas Rangers catchers are trusted, and I think they're probably have less emotion behind the plate and can see exactly where the pitch lands. Sometimes pitchers with their follow through or whatever, or they can get emotional during big situations, and hitters the same way. So I think you'll see the catchers challenge more than the pitchers or the hitters.
What kind of restrictions do you think you will have on players using it? Do you always want it to come in the 9th inning, or hey, if you think you're right, in the 5th?
Yeah, I think that's part of the conversation that we're having internally right now with the bigger meeting with R&D coming up with our group, talking with some veteran players and how they see it. Typically, I think it's used in more leveraged spots, and I think the conversation a lot of times is not being selfish as well. Nobody on, 2 outs, 3-2 count in the 4th inning. Is it time to use a challenge there, or do you want to wait till kind of the game is on the line, 3-2 count with Corey Seager on deck? So I think that type of conversation is happening.
The general feeling is that probably the 2 best guys in terms of strike zone discipline on a team, or no one strike zone, are Wyatt and Evan. And I don't know that I'd put Jock far behind that. I mean, that seems to be the group.
Brandon and Corey have an idea, I think. Yeah, for sure.
Is there anybody who, like, you've already decided that's probably not a good guy to be using? Because you said we'll decide who can and can't use the idea. You have any thoughts on guys who are going to have to be reined in a little bit?
I honestly no. I mean, I think that's part of spring training and watching the game. I think there are definitely some veteran guys that will get the benefit of the doubt, and that you can trust. And then, as we move forward, into the season, if, you start building trust more and more, or less, however you want to spin it. But again, this is so new to everybody that I think, we're trying to figure out exactly, how to go about it. And that's why I think the AAA staff and AAA hitters and pitchers are so crucial to talk to and talk through this thing, so you understand, kind of what you're getting yourself into. But you don't really know until you utilize it. I mean, it was
right.
you hardly used it last year. You saw it a little bit, in spring training, I think, but
Yeah.
but it's hard. WBC. What was the other? There was another playoff. The All-Star game, maybe.
It was an all.
Yeah, All-Star game. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said Jake and Jock are working at first base. Who is behind them at first base?
I mean, Mark Hanna will take some reps there. You'll see Tyler Wade take some reps there. So those 4, Foscue will take reps there. So those 4 or 5 guys probably stand out the most right now. But I don't see like our catchers or anything taking reps there.
How do you view Justin Foscue at this point in his career?
I view it as clean slate, as a kind of new manager, new regime comes in, and he has a chance to make an opening day roster. I mean, he has performed against left-handed pitching. He hits the ball, hard, and on base percentage has always been there. So especially against the left-handed pitching. And if you see his numbers, what he did last year in AAA, they're really good, and project to also be really good at the big league level against left-handed pitching. So he's definitely an option. That's kind of his calling card. And if he can play, effectively, defensively, effectively, I think that's what we're going to want to see as well.
So he's played a lot of second base.
Yep.
But he's never been mentioned among those competing for for playing time at second base. Is it just
He's playing second base.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll play second base this spring training. He, Freeman, Wade, Duran, Smitty, I mean, all those guys are going to be playing second base. So they'll be getting reps. Justin will also be getting reps.
I know you saw part of Gavin Collier's BP yesterday. I think you showed up after he struck out Duran and Kana back-to-back. What did you see?
I showed up at the right time. Yeah. We talked to him this offseason about filling up the strike zone. That's what I wanted to see. We know the stuff is there. I also really enjoy feedback from the hitters after someone's live. So I'd like to talk to hitters inside in the clubhouse, talking with them about different guys they saw. I know it's so early. I mean, the timing is so off with some of these guys. Apparently not JJ, but everyone else, it's hard to catch up to mid-90s with spin. Collier has a unique arm slot. He has as good a stuff as anybody in the major leagues right now. Can he fill up the strike zone? And he definitely did that yesterday. It's really impressive. Cutter was at 94, slider at 90, with a 97 on average type of fastball that got by, was throwing by guys. So that's what we've known about him. Now filling up the strike zone. Now can he do it again? And then can he do it again? Right. That is the consistency of a big leaguer is filling up the strike zone over and over again, and as opposed to guys that have these peaks and valleys where their one outing is great, the next outing is kind of sporadic. So the great news is he has confidence in kind of what he's doing mechanically right now. Our pitching coaches have been great in setting up different kind of targets on where he should throw the baseball so it lands in a different spot. It showed up yesterday. He feels really good about it today. So now can he do it again and repeat himself?
You said you talked to guys after their live VPs. Did you talk to Peterson about Collier yesterday?
I talked to all of our players about our pitchers.
Does Jock have anything to offer?
I think you'll have to talk to Jock about different pitchers, but I always keep personal stuff about each guy because feedback is what I'm looking for from veteran hitters because they've seen a lot of pitches in their career, and so I always keep like an internal book of like what guys see because a lot of guys it's tough to identify deception too. So you can read data all that you can't read a heartbeat or mind, and you can't read like deception is really hard to figure out. And so if guys can't see the baseball and plus it's 97, that's pretty good. If guys can't see the baseball and it's 90, well, it feels like 95. So that type of stuff I want to see. Pence is a really good example of that. So it's not just the data, it's deception, and that's kind of what I'm looking for.
What's unique about Collier's arm angle? Like, what is unique? Because I'm like watching the data and I'm watching the batters. I don't get where his arm angle is.
Well, it's just a lot of funk, right? Like it's legs and arms and everything, and oh, by the way, here's 99.
Okay.
So it's just not this like smooth, over the top, the old school Iron Mike delivery. There's just a lot of things happening, and
It's a lot of movement.
Yeah, and it's uncomfortable, and like you want it to be uncomfortable when you're, at the plate for guys, and that's what he is providing right now.
The thing about all that movement, right, that I've always been told is that's hard to repeat.
It is,
That's
and
the challenge.
that's the challenge, but you don't want to take away from his uniqueness either. So there's a lot of guys that in the big leagues that have